Greenland is a huge island covered in ice and snow. It's located far up north near the Arctic Circle, where it's very cold most of the year. Greenland is actually a part of North America, but it's much closer to Europe. The weather in Greenland is very harsh. Winters are long and dark, with freezing temperatures. Summers are short and cool, with only a few hours of sunlight each day. Only a small part of Greenland is ice-free, and that's mostly along the coastline. The interior of Greenland is covered by a giant ice sheet. It's so big that if it melted, it would raise sea levels around the world. This ice sheet is thousands of years old and is constantly moving. Because of its harsh environment, very few people live in Greenland. Most of the island's small population lives in small towns and settlements scattered along the coast. One of the most interesting things about Greenland is the midnight sun. During the summer months, the sun never sets below the horizon in Greenland. This means that there is daylight 24 hours a day. The midnight sun is a beautiful sight to see. The sky takes on different colors, from bright orange to pink and purple. Even though the sun is up all night, it doesn't get very warm. Temperatures in Greenland rarely rise above freezing, even during the summer months. The midnight sun can be disorienting for people who aren't used to it. It can be hard to sleep when it's light outside all the time, but the people of Greenland have adapted to this unique phenomenon. They often have blackout curtains in their homes to help them sleep. They also take advantage of the long days by working and playing outdoors late into the night. You might be wondering why Greenland is called Greenland when it's mostly covered in ice. It's a strange name for such a cold and icy place, isn't it? Well, the name Greenland comes from a Viking explorer named Erik the Red. Over 1,000 years ago, Erik was exiled from Iceland for fighting. He sailed west and landed on the southwestern coast of Greenland. This part of Greenland is warmer and greener than the rest of the island, thanks to the Gulf Stream. Erik found some green valleys where he thought people could live. He named the island Greenland, hoping to attract settlers. It's true that southwestern Greenland is greener than other parts of the island, but it's still a very challenging place to live. The growing season is short and the soil isn't very fertile. Section 4. Erik the Red's Voyage. Erik the Red was a fearless Viking explorer who lived over 1,000 years ago. He was known for his red hair and beard, hence his name. Erik was a skilled sailor and navigator. Erik sailed from Iceland with a small group of followers in search of new land. After several weeks at sea, they spotted land. It was a vast and icy island, much larger than Iceland. Erik and his men explored the coastline, looking for a suitable place to settle. They eventually found a few sheltered fjords with some green vegetation. Erik decided to call this new land Greenland, believing a more appealing name would attract settlers. He returned to Iceland the following year and told stories about the green and fertile land he had found. Section 5. A Land of Promise? Erik the Red's stories about Greenland piqued the interest of many people in Iceland. Life in Iceland was hard, with limited farmland and harsh winters. Erik painted a rosy picture of Greenland, describing it as a land of plenty. He talked about the lush meadows, abundant fish and mild climate. Many people were persuaded by Erik's tales and decided to join him on his next voyage to Greenland. They loaded their belongings, livestock and families onto ships and set sail with Erik. They arrived in Greenland and established a settlement near the fjords Erik had discovered. They built houses, a church and even a parliament. Life in Greenland was not easy, however. The winters were much harsher than Erik had described. The settlers struggled to grow crops and raise livestock in the short growing season. Section 6. The Mystery of the Lost Settlement. The Viking settlements in Greenland survived for several hundred years. However, life was always a struggle against the harsh environment. Eventually, the settlements vanished. No one knows for sure what happened to the Viking settlers. Some historians believe they may have succumbed to disease or starvation. Others speculate that they might have been driven out by Inuit tribes. The disappearance of the Viking settlements in Greenland remains a mystery to this day. Some archaeological evidence suggests that the Vikings may have eventually integrated with the Inuit people. The story of Erik the Red and the Greenland settlements serves as a reminder of the challenges of living in harsh environments. It also highlights the resilience and adaptability of the human spirit.